still trying to figure that out. I don't know, it just called to me, so, and I could not be any happier that I'm out here. It's truly the best time of my life, really.
A detox from civilization, society, the city, stuff like that.
It was something I always knew that I would want to try, but I wasn't serious about it until a few years ago. I was at like a dead-end spot in the job I had. So I decided that I would join AmeriCorps and do a 6-month term, so I'd be out in the woods for 6 months. That'd kind of give me a feel if I would enjoy it, and I loved that. So 3 days after my service term ended, I came out here and started hiking. Yeah.
I've been doing it since I was little, actually. My parents were into it, and you just kind of grow up with it.
Worked in an office, and I was just like, it's not for me. It was just gray, and at first it was okay, you know, it was new, but then I was like, this isn't what I want. So a friend said that, she's like, we should like go hike the AT, like this year or something. And I was like, in my head I knew she wasn't going to do it because I know her plans. Like, it just wasn't in, it just wouldn't fit for her. But for some reason for me, I was at this job and I was just like, yeah, like I'd leave now. So a month later, you know, I'm on the trail on my own. That's awesome. It's been great.
I've been hiking for a while, backpacking for about 6 years. I've always been drawn to the AT and always wanted to. I was supposed to do a thru-hike in 2015. My father-in-law became sick with pancreatic cancer, so I stayed behind for him. But now's my time, so I've always wanted to, and now I'm doing it.
So we went on tour. We're musicians. We went on tour. We came back from tour. I do outside work, construction work, and I fell off a ladder and broke both my arm.
And had a really long recovery. And Logan's super active, so that was super hard for him. Kind of had a lot of different changes about what he wanted to do with his life and making sure he would like pursued the things that excited him.
Right.
So the John Muir Trail was one of those dreams he'd had of doing. Kind of while he was recovering, he was preparing for the John Muir Trail because he was like, my legs work and I want to hike, so I can hike even though my arms are broken. So we planned for the John Muir Trail while we were making our new album. I was like, well, what if we like combine these worlds, because we were getting so excited about hiking and I'd never hiked before.
Yeah.
So we wanted to bring the art world and the music world into the hiking world.
Just do
that millennial hustle where you can't just enjoy things.
Yeah.
Get off the hamster wheel. I had been in the same job that I loved for 8 years. Felt like I was due for something longer where I can really reset. And so I made that space for myself, and I left my job and sold my car, and I just went. It was like 9 months between when I decided to go and when I went.
I thought like bucket lists were kind of stupid. I thought they were wildly dumb. And then 7 years ago I was diagnosed with breast cancer, and all of a sudden a bucket list wasn't so stupid anymore. So I started throwing all this like epic shit on there, like go skydiving, thru-hike the AT. And so I started busting all those out, and like last year my husband's like, when are you gonna knock this one off the list? And I was like, I don't know, and he's like, this is the perfect time, go do it. And so here I am.
I fell in love with hiking from summer camp. We just had a couple of small hikes on camp which would actually take you to a rock with a view of New York City in the distance, like about 60 miles away. I ended up taking a couple of groups of teenagers onto the Appalachian Trail, which is how I really learned about the AT and how I sort of fell in love with the idea of it. In 2015 I sectioned the whole of New Jersey, and then I decided after that that I wasn't done with it, and so I'm back to do the whole thing now.
It was always something that I wanted to do, and this was the right year for it.
We grew up in North Carolina. I love the mountains. I love the solitude. I love the peace. I love the community. I love eating as much as physically possible at all times. And the Appalachian Trail is a perfect place to do all of those things.
I do as she tells me to do. In general.
My grandpa lived in Maine, and we used to visit him all the time. Like, we'd hike out there, and I remember one specific moment. He would take us out on the AT, and he found a bunch of thru-hikers. Like, as an 8-year-old, I feel like he talked to them for like an hour. It was probably like 10 minutes. But just like the love in his eyes, right then I wanted to hike the AT. I'm carrying a hat that I bought with him. It's like a 15 to 18-year-old hat that it's going to be dead by the end of the trail, but I'm definitely taking him to the end. So.
I would say my reason has changed a little bit. So one of my friends was the one who was stabbed and survived, and so we are hiking in her honor, and I'm just inspired by her and encouraged by her, and she's going to be out on the trail again next year, but the rest of this hike is really in her honor and in honor of Ron, the guy that was tragically killed. So just the fact that we're able to be here and that we have the energy and strength and opportunity to do it feels like a tremendous privilege, and yeah, we're doing it for the people that can't.